What's going on, guys? Withany here, and this is my Kog'Maw guide for Season 8. Before the video starts, if you enjoy this video, I'd recommend you check out my channel, maybe subscribe. I bring out 2 guides every week, but enough of that, let's get into the guide. We'll start off, as always, with the champion's abilities. Kog'Maw's passive, when you die, allows you to keep moving, and you'll deal true damage after 3 seconds in an area of effect. His Q shreds magic resist and armor and gives him passive attack speed 15% to 30%. Kog'Maw's W gives him extra range and deals extra damage depending on the enemy's maximum HP in magic damage. Kog'Maw's E is an AoE slow that slows more with the more points you have in the ability. And then Kog'Maw's ultimate, which is probably his most detailed spell, is an area of effect execute that increases with range every time that you level up his ultimate. Also, it gives you vision when you cast the spell. And the mana cost goes up every time that you use it by 50, so make sure you don't use it too often, as there is a timer before the mana cost resets, otherwise you'll run out of mana. Okay, so for Kog'Maw's runes, that's pretty standard, the same rune page as I went through on the Tristana video. You go Fleet Footwork, Overheal, Bloodline and Coup de Grace, because of the sustain it gives you in lane and the shield, so you're a little bit less squishy. Perfect timing for outplay potential and a cheap GA if you need it, and magical footwear for the fact that you can get the upgraded boots, so Tabai or Berserker's Greaves for 750 gold. You know, that's really gold efficient, and it means you can get boots for pretty much next to nothing. Do know that it is going to get nerfed next patch though, so that the 50 gold cheaper than normal boots is going to get removed. But I still feel like you're going to choose one of these at least, and you're still going to go down the inspiration tree as a secondary. And then Kog'Maw's build, in most matchups I start Durin's Blade and a Potion and rush Rageblade. Normally then I'll finish off my boots and get a Wit's End because it's the most damage you can get out of the 2 items. And then I'll pretty much always get Runarns because the AoE synergizes really well with his W range. You're pretty much always going to be hitting 2 or 3 people in a team fight, which is really good in my opinion. And then if they're stacking a lot of magic resist, you can get a Blade of the Ruined King. If you feel like you're doing a load of damage already, you can get GA or Frozen Mallet if you're really far ahead and that you know they're pretty much going to be running away from you or kiting back in a team fight. Another item that should be here, if they've got a lot of CC or you know just one piece of CC that they keep using on you, like a Malzahar ult or a Sedge ult, where if you get hit by that you are going to die, you should definitely get a Merc Scimitar. Okay, so Kog'Maw is not the strongest laner, especially level 1. You want to start W or Q. I prefer to start Q just for the extra attack speed so I can push without using my W. And then as soon as you hit level 2, you want to be looking to auto attack trade just because of the immense range that you have. ADCs normally can't do much about it. You'll normally get the first auto and the last auto. And then try and sustain back up thanks to your rune page, and if you've started a Doran's shield or sword. And pretty much do it again when your W's off cooldown. You just want to go for a few auto attacks and harass the enemy ADC, just let them know that you're there. But the main aim of the game in Kog'Maw's laning phase is just to farm up for Rageblade. You know, after some good trades maybe you can snipe someone with your ultimate, as it is the execute as we said earlier, but mainly just want to farm up for your Rageblade, and that's really when Kog'Maw gets strong. Okay, so the Rageblade power spike is pretty much the reason why you want to pick Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is really good late game, but his main spike, when he is most powerful in comparison to other ADCs, is his one item power spike. Normally, they've got an Infinity Edge and some attack speed, maybe a Shiv and a BF, but that does not compare to Kog'Maw's Rageblade. You want to get 6 stacks through auto-attacking minions or champions, but don't use your W before you've got 6 stacks, otherwise you won't get the most benefit out of it. Because once your Rageblade is fully stacked, you're going to be auto-attacking with your W and every other auto-attack, so the first auto-attack will be normal, but then the second auto-attack will apply your W damage twice. This means that you'll shred tanks who have only got 1 and a bit items, even if they've got Tarby and a Sunfire Cape, that you will still shred right through them because of the magic damage from the W and the physical damage from normal auto-attacks. It's just too much for them to handle and you'll do insane damage. As you see in this clip, we've already got the bot lane tower, so we want to be grouping up for the mid lane tower or the top lane tower. So we group up for the mid lane tower and siege that, and you see that I absolutely shred through anyone that pretty much tries to fight us. All you need to remember is that Kog'Maw is very immobile and you have to play with your flash cooldown. If you do not have your flash, you need to play very, very safe, or know that I've got Tom Kench there. Like, you need to just know that you've got backup of your teammates, that you've got a front line that you can stand behind,
and we're just trying to push
CC
that
them
in.
and
So I activate my W to try and get some damage off on the mid lane tower. However, in a few moments you'll see that there's a fight that's going to kick off in blue side of their jungle, where realistically we should just be sieging mid lane. So I move over and Vel'Koz is ulting, so after that wears off I'll start moving in to deal some damage. One thing to note is that my ultimate is rank 2, so it's got a lot of range. So I ult the backline hitting Vel'Koz and Nasus. Diana Zonya's, and it gives us a little bit of time just to get a few auto attacks off, and I finish off low targets whilst weaving my ult onto the low targets in between my auto attacks. It ends up that there's just Tristana left and she tries to get away with flash, but I flash after her and snipe her with my ultimate. This teamfight looks really easy because everyone was low, but I had to finish off each target as quickly as possible because they could easily have blown me up. So I auto attacked whoever was in front of me who could deal the most damage to me at the time and kind of work my way through it, instead of greeding out for the kill on the hyper carries, the really important characters like how I killed Tristana last, was because I wanted to kill their front line and who was threatening me in that moment, so I could carry on dealing damage and clean up the whole fight instead of maybe only getting 1 or 2 kills and then having to back out or maybe even dying. But realistically, and what you're going to see in the next few clips, is that to play Kog'Maw and to play Kog'Maw well, you need to play smart and you need to play the map smart. He is quite a simple champion in terms of most of his damage. 80% of his damage comes from auto attacks, so you just need to be able to attack move, which I'll make a guide about next week if you can't already do that. But you want to just attack move, kite backwards, kite forwards, watch how their team as a whole works. And if you've got an assassin on the side, you just need to kite away from them and try and use your flash maybe if you feel like you're going to die 100%. You don't want to waste your flash on Kog'Maw. Sometimes if you're learning Kog'Maw, I'd even recommend in an easy matchup as far as bot lane goes to take Unsealed Spellbook, just so you've got your summoners up more often so you can protect yourself more, especially in solo queue where sometimes your supports won't be the best. But I hope you've learned a lot from this video, mainly just about map movements, you know, kiting back. Just watch how I play the team fights and try and take that into your solo queue games. Remember that without your W, you won't really be doing a lot of damage. So unless you've killed a few members in a team fight, I wouldn't go into the team fight again without your W up. You should probably wait it out a little bit, depending on how threatened you feel you are. As far as when to play Kog'Maw and when not to play Kog'Maw, if they have a few champions that can dive on you, a few bursty champions, then I'd recommend not playing Kog'Maw, as you are going to struggle due to your lack of burst damage yourself, so you can't burst them first, and you don't have much outplay potential, and you don't have any mobility. So if they've got like a Zed and a Diana, you probably shouldn't play Kog'Maw. If they've got a bot lane like Tristana and Alistair, which is quite a hard matchup unless you have a support already locked in like Morgana or Tahm Kench. I'd recommend again not picking him. He's one that really struggles in the wrong kind of circumstances. To just keep that in mind before you insta-lock first pick Kog'Maw every game. But I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Check out my other guides if you enjoyed this one, and let me know what I can do to improve in the comments below. Make sure you like, supports me, really helps me get out there, and I'll bring out 2 more videos next week. One being a guide on how to use attack move, and let me know what champion you feel like I should use. I've been playing a load of Jinx after the rework, so I'm thinking of making one of those and teaching people how to carry with her. But yeah, thank you for watching and have a great day.